Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it.
Signs she think you're attractive. I really need you to lock in and pay attention now. Especially cause I know you be thinking you not that guy. That's why we finna change that. We gotta change that. So start with number one. She always wanna spend time with you, fella. If she tryna link with you, if she tryna lock in, just think about it now. If you wasn't a guy that she seemed attractive or some type of guy she don't like, do you really think she'll be trying to hang out with you? Cause one thing I know for sure, girls are all-star hide and seek champs. That means she would reach out to you and not link with you. That's just calm and mad. Number two, she always staring at you. No, it's not because I'm on your face. If you always looking at her right and you find her when she peep her head like this, she looking at you already. Best believe she wanna approach you. She just scared, cuz that's all it is. She's scared. She wants to come up to you, but her pride would not allow her to, bro. Because it's one thing a female hates, and that's rejection. But if she looks at you before you even turn your head, best believe she already checking you out, cuz. Bro, she wants you. Three. Oh man, when I tell you this one, she messes up your motion. I'm talking about she already telling people that you her man. That's what you is, my boy. You her man. She already moving how she wanted to be. She showing you. She does this, best believe she finds you attractive. She not playing. That ain't no game. She not playing like that. She so for real. You her man. Hey man, with that being said, go ahead, like this video and follow me for more advice.
Another day, another day. It's been a real fast 2025. I ain't really had a whole lot of time to do these videos, but I've been trying to put some things together, and I'll be coming out with more. I'll probably try to do a couple today if I can knock them out. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was like the laws of attraction. What attracts people to each other. And, there's so many different ways, so many different things that people use to get someone's attention or to covet someone's love. To become like more attractive or, focus on good hygiene, a positive attitude, well-fitting clothes, healthy habits, confident body language, smiling, maintaining good posture, making eye contact, dressing your body type, grooming, exercising, eating right, getting enough sleep, wearing things that flatter you, good skincare, developing, your social skills, things like that, expressing yourself authentically, being as real as possible. There's so many things. There's so many things that attract. But I want to talk to you about how it's about just being simple, just simplifying it, not trying to go overboard. You're not trying to attract everyone. You're just trying to attract who wants you. So a lot of times you just got to stick with the basic stuff, just the basics, pretty much, washing your ass and knowing how to have a good conversation, knowing how to be a social person. Sometimes we miss those simple things. We just want to get straight to the point. How much money you make, what kind of car you drive, what kind of job you got. We forget those little things. Do you have manners? Do you know how to talk? I have a conversation with me. What are your, other skills. So, like I've said, and I mentioned it a couple of times now, grooming is a big thing. Keeping your hair clean, your nails trimmed, just good oral hygiene, washing your ass. Sometimes it's just that simple. Like, you'd be surprised. You don't have to be the prettiest or the cutest or whatever. You don't have to be the tallest, the most muscles. You don't have to have, perfect skin, this and that. But if you just, take a shower, groom yourself, make sure you get your hair done, your nails done, things like that. It's very important that you use that to your advantage. You accentuate everything else, accentuate the positives. So like, hold on, let me use this as an example. So it's kind of like, it's like it's like someone that's shallow. If they're worried about their looks and this and that. Yes, you do have to worry about your looks. Looks are very important. You want to catch the person's eye. But you know what else catches someone's attention? How you smell. How you smell is very important. And we're going to talk about it in a positive way. I'm not going to say negative because we know if something stinks, it stinks. But cologne, perfume, body sprays are very good. But let's back it all the way up. Soap and water. You got to make sure you're cleaning your body thoroughly. There's so many products you can get out there. So it's kind of like, see, I'm a Pine Sol person. I love Pine Sol. I love Pine Sol and bleach and disinfectant. The three basics, because it gets everything clean the way you want it. You can go buy Fabuloso, but Fabuloso smells good, but does it really get deep down in their crevices and clean you? So yeah, it's nice to get the nice smelling stuff, but you want to make sure you're scrubbing, you're getting the basics. You're scrubbing the body, so when you do put the perfume or the cologne on, it accentuates everything else. But yeah, brushing your teeth. Making sure you brush your teeth, making sure that you're grooming, you're cutting your hair. You're doing all that good stuff. You want to make sure that you're adding to those things, that you're accentuating everything possible. Make sure you put your deodorant on, making sure you got chapstick, making sure you keep gum on you, something to keep your breath fresh. Just little things like that. It's, some oils. Some people like using oils. Just keep buying those little knickknacks here and there because it helps. It helps. But grooming is very important. Skincare, that goes in with the scrubbing with the soap and stuff. Make sure you're buying good, healthy, organic products, stuff that fits your not only your skin but your culture. With me being black, I can't just pick up certain things, because it'll dry my skin out. So I have to go for the stuff that works, stuff that helps, stuff that's really, really good, that'll help maintain your skin and make you just look your best. But skincare, just a regular routine with your skin type, moisturizers and sunscreen, especially with it being warm now and the sun coming out, put that sunscreen on. The sunscreen helps. And make sure you're looking at the bottles too, because not all the sunscreens are good for you. Make sure you're getting the correct ones that are good for your skin. Another one that we fight with as far as, getting people to be attracted to us is a healthy diet. Now, this just depends. Having a healthy diet and taking care of your body, it helps. It's a plus. It helps. It definitely helps your confidence and stuff. But you just want to do that because it goes along with the skincare. It goes along with your personal hygiene, your pH balance. A lot of people don't realize, what you eat affects everything. And so you want to do it for that. Now, as far as getting skinny and stuff like that, to each his own. You need to make sure that when you're attracting people, you're not being shallow about it. It's whoever is attracted, who's attracted to you, and who likes you back. Not because you, like I said earlier, that you have the perfect body. They like you for you. So make sure it's that. Make sure there's something like that going on. Exercise, you still want to exercise. You want to be fit. You want to be able to keep up, because if you're going to go on dates, if you're going to go do events, if you're going to do, any type of anything strenuous, you want to be able to know that you can keep up with the person that you're trying to attract. Because what if they're a mover and a go-getter and they're here, there, and everywhere, and your cardio ain't up, and that also helps with, intimates. you know, with intimacy, you know, and having relations and stuff like that. You want to make sure your cardio's up. People are attracted to that. You'd be surprised, you know. They want to know that you can keep up, you know, in the bed, outside the bed, in the community, at work. People want to know that, you know, hey, if I get with this person, they're not lazy. You know, they have, you know, that drive, that go get. You know, another thing that I'm real big on is clothing. Now, after you groom yourself and you're smelling good, you want to look good too. You want to make sure that you're buying clothes that help magnify your attraction. You know, to get, you're trying to get these people attracted to you. So, you know, the clothing helps. Clothing helps. You want to make sure that you're buying the right type of clothes that fit just right. You know, you don't want to. One trick is you don't want to buy a bunch of flashy stuff. You want to make sure you got clothes that are quality, not quantity. You know, you want to get quality clothes, not just a bunch of clothes. You know, you don't want to get caught up in buying flashy stuff that looks like you're just holding a sign up that says, "Look at me." You want to make sure that you're buying, you know, your solids. You can have a couple of stripes and polka dots or whatever, but you want to make sure you got a lot of solids. And you want to make sure when you're putting something on, only one thing is standing out. So I can have on all this right here, but then I got a gold or a silver watch on or something, and it stands out. Or the shoes. You know, you can have a nice basic outfit on, but your shoes are popping. You know, you can just see them like, wow, look at that. You know, you want to make sure that your clothing is matching. You want to make sure that you're ironing and cleaning your clothes. All that stuff matters. All of it matters. You don't want to sit and be lazy and be like, oh, well, you know, I ain't got time for all that. You got time. You got time. Let's not do that. Let's not sit here and act like we don't have time. You got time. You know, put your clothes out, set it out for the next day. You know, make sure that you're ironing and you know, and washing your clothes, taking care of everything. You want to make sure you're doing all that. We talked about hairstyles. Hairstyles are very important. You want to make sure that, you know, I'm bald, so, you know, it's just a matter of just keeping it shaved. You know, throwing a little oil on it, make it shiny, make it, you know, I can make it smell good, whatever. But, you know, for y'all that have hair, you want to make sure that you're going to your appointments regularly. You know, your hair, you know, going to see your hairstylist, or you're going to the barber. You're going to get, you know, I got to get this lined up. You know, make sure it looks nice and looks good, or you know, it looks decent. You never know what attracts people, but you want to make sure that when that time comes, that that part is on point, that you got that on point, that you're not, you know, you're not lacking in that area. But hairstyles, you know that says a lot to a person. Upkeep, you know, keeping yourself up, keeping your appearance up says a lot to the person that you're trying to attract, because it's letting them know, okay, this person is going to be a reflection of me, and I'm not going to be ashamed to have them around because I like the way they dress, I like the way they smell, I like the way they keep their hair and keep themselves done. All that stuff helps. It helps when it comes to trying to attract someone that you like, or trying to get somebody to see your quality. You know, but yeah, let's focus on the 5 things. You know, like I said, always have a lot of positivity. Positivity helps. Good humor. You got to be funny. You got to be able to make people laugh and smile. You got to know. You got to have. You got to be intellectual. You got to have some type of brains. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to be able to carry a conversation. Because what if the person that you're with ain't really a conversationalist, but they love to hear you talk, or they love to hear you say the things that you need to say. You know, learn how to communicate and talk and be a conversationalist. You know, confidence, you know, goes with all this. Make sure you always have confidence. I don't care how nervous you are, stay confident. You know, you want to show them that it's them that needs to be with you. You know, I hate saying it, but it is true. It's not you don't want them to always, you don't want them to control the situation. You want them to be like, how can I get with this person? I'm attracted to them. I like this. I like them. So, exude that confidence so they know that, man, I'm not just talking to any old person. This is somebody that's got my attention. Yeah, but like I said, good hygiene and just be present. Be present. Be in the moment. Don't be on your phone. Don't be acting like you're too cool for all of it. Look that person in the eye when you're talking to them the whole time. Keep eye contact. See, that's a trick. That's another trick that people don't realize. If you keep eye contact, that transfers the nervousness from you to them. They're going to be a little bit more nervous because you're keeping your eyes on them. So that's going to make them have to stay on their game as well. Don't do that whole shy thing. It's okay. It's cute at first, but some people like confidence. Some people, majority of people love confidence. Let's just be honest. Most of them love confidence. But you also, with that, you do want to be a good listener. You want to make sure that you're giving out a lot of confidence. And when you're giving out confidence, you want to give out compliments. Compliment the person. That's another way to get somebody to be attracted to you. The fact that you're paying attention to their efforts and what they look like. Always be kind and considerate. That's an attractive trait. Somebody that always sees you being kind and considerate, they know that you're going to handle them with care. Because a lot of people are fragile. So they want to know that you have some type of humanity in you to be kind and caring to them. But last but not least, just be authentic. Be yourself, because you want to attract the people that like you for who you really are. Don't put on no front, don't put on a facade, because you're going to have to show them who you are eventually. This goes for men and women. Does not matter who you are. You're going to have to show them who you are. Show them who you are from the beginning. Do not put on a facade. Do not, make everything fake. You need to be as authentic and as real as possible, because you need to know if those people are going to love you on your worst day, or on your non-flattering days when you're not looking your best or feeling your best. You need to know that you got a partner that does not care what you look like. They know who you really are, and they love who you are. So just remember that. Just remember that. And let me get a little closer, because I want you to understand that life is life is full of challenges, and if you just take the right type of advice, you can attract the right type of people. So take my unsolicited advice this time, okay? Don't leave it, take it.